Hi dancers and family, welcome to our hair tutorial. We're going to be showing you how to do a high ballet bun today as well as a low ballet bun. So make sure you watch Nadine over here for a high ballet bun and Kennedy for a low ballet bun.
So we're going to do a low bun on Kennedy. You want a brush, you want a hair elastic, hopefully the same color as your hair color or as close as you can. Spray bottle is always helpful for all of those little flyaways. So generally we'll want to spray the hair, or you could use somewhat damp hair. Super wet hair is a little bit challenging to I would say hold in. It can get quite heavy. So depending on if the instructor wants a center part or a side part, that's something that would be established from your class. We want to make sure with a low ponytail that we put in here, we need enough room. Kennedy, if you look towards Miss Carly, you want to have enough room underneath so that once we go into the bun, there's room for the pins and room for the base of the bun so it's not hanging down on the neck. So the low pony will not look as low as you could make it. And to slick everything back, I'm not a huge fan of the hair gel, but it'll do the best job. Miss Lindsay loves using hair gel. So you just want to make sure, especially if you've got little wispies, we want to pull all of that back. If you have bumps, you're going to use a comb and you'll just comb all of the bumps back towards the elastic, and that's gonna be hidden from the bun once we wrap the hair in the hairnet. So we're gonna add a hairnet to Kennedy's hair and pins. And there's a few different choices of pins. There are regular bobby pins that you can get that are basically clamped together. You can get those at Dollarama, Shoppers. There are bun pins that you can get at Shoppers. And then for thicker hair, you can get some bun pins from the dance store that are more substantial. The wiring is thicker, it'll hold things better. The hairnet, it's important. These all come in different hair colors to match your hair as well. So just ensure that you're choosing a hairnet that matches your hair color. There's a couple different options you could do, especially if you have thick hair. So generally you want to twist your hair of the bun. Just thinking about Miss Lindsay loves to add a little spritz, so this will give you a little bit more traction for your hands. And then just like a cinnamon bun, you just wrap it around the hair elastic. Keep it nice and twisted. And then just to secure it while you go to put in your hairnet, you'll use one of your pins. And what's important here is you want to be able to grab some of the hair. We'll talk about this more in a moment with the hairnet, but you want to grab some of the hair there and then basically flip it so that it's flush against the side of the head and then pushing into your elastic, so we can let it go for a second while we add the hairnet. And then the hairnet, you want to wrap that around a few times as well. So you'll pull it so the hair elastic is right up against the underside of the bun, not the hair elastic, but the elastic of the net. And then you'll turn it so that you're flipping it the opposite way, so you can wrap it around again and wrap it around again. And then we'll remove that pin, and it's important here that we basically like knead the dough, if you think about that. So we don't want it to look like a doorknob sticking out. We want it to be able to be as flat as possible to the back of the head and not larger maybe than the size of a navel orange maybe in circumference. Basically push that nice and flush. Sorry, Kennedy, as I smush your forehead here. And then we're gonna secure it with your pins. And then when you're securing the bun, you're grabbing the outer edge of the bun, which is basically the hair and the hairnet. So you'll grab the edge here, you'll see poked so that the two little prongs are basically poking into the head. And then you'll flip it so that it's flush against the head. And then when you push it in, you want to make sure that it is getting into the elastic if you can. There are some pins, you'll notice there's a difference in length sometimes between the pins. So a thicker, longer pin might get into that elastic more. I would say at least 8 pins, at least. You think about top, bottom, side, side, and then all the corners as well. And just if you are a family member or friend who's helping somebody with their bun, just make sure every time that you flip and push in that you're pushing into the elastic and not their skull. They will let you know. So this would be what the bun looks like from the back. As you see, there are still some little like bumps here, so you could use some of your hairspray or gel, and then you can use bobby pins are great for this. To either, you can pull it, and you want to have the squiggly part actually against the scalp, which is opposite of anything I ever thought growing up, but it keeps it secure so it doesn't slip. So you could do something like this where it pulls it back this way, pulling it really nice and close to the bun. Sometimes if it's a small little bump, you can actually open this, grab that piece of hair that's sticking out, and then just sort of tuck it in, and that's a little more discreet than the vertical pin. But that's the shape, and Kennedy, if you just look towards Miss Carly for a second, that's about as thick as we would want it to be out from the back of the head.